Hello, we are live, Pontificators tonight. We got a great show for you. We are going to do rapid fire topics. So we have 3 topics. We're going to get into Image 30 years. 30 years. We're going to look back at the great Image comics and what they did. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary of existing. And we are going to get into a little Joe Rogan action. I just wanted to get into some of that. Let everybody vent, even you guys in the chat. I think these are good ways. Like the Pontificator show is a great way to kind of air things, get them off your chest. Things that are making us crazy. Talk about them and get them. I don't know. See if we can kind of come up with some kind of way to move forward. Not that we come up with solutions on this program always, but sometimes we do. And then the other is Disney Plus. I have not seen this episode yet. I've seen, I think, the first 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, but we are going to get into why is Disney crapping on Boba Fett in his own show? His own show, like they had the Mandalorian come in and steal the show, from what I understand. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but I think that is one of the guys' topics, so they'll take the lead on that. So the guys are coming in, and we'll get the show on the road. But I like to start a little early. Actually, it's our normal time, but I like to start without the guys, so I can kind of hang out with you guys a little bit, because I feel like sometimes when you get a lot of people on, I can't really hang out with you guys in the chat as much as I'd like to. So we got Past Master Dan. Sure is quiet in here. Not anymore with my big mouth. What is that? Earth Mind. What's up, everyone? God bless you, young man. Yes, I am young. I am young at heart. Lay kick 1, party hardy arty. I like that. Okay. Oh, we got Joe Bernardo. Aloha, Art. Lord Crackhead. We got some crack in the house. We got a party. Hey, Art and chat. Yes. Let's see who else we got. We got what is that? Willie J. Draws. Salute to Canadian truckers. Yes. Freedom will survive. We will survive this, man. That warms my heart, man. And of all places, it's coming from Canada. So I dig that. Also, from what I hear, they're going to bring it into the States here. So solidarity with our trucker brothers. So it's really weird what's happening in the world. That's the only thing I can say without using expletives. Joe says a Book of Boba Fett is awesome. Oh, I even liked the Quadrophenia. They had the Quadrophenia scooter guys. I thought it was weird though. I didn't think that they really fit into the Star Wars universe. Excuse me. But I still did like the episode. Wow, my voice is cracking. I'm going through puberty. La Magante. Ahoy. Let's see. I'm still looking for some fresh faces. Oh, we got the real Steve Dye. All right, let's do this. Yes, let's do this indeed. We got Comic Book Bob CBB. What's up, brother?
COVID sucks balls.
Yeah. Pamela and I had it maybe a month back, and we had the poke, and so we both kicked it within about 7-9 days, something like that. I mean, it lingered, but you know what I mean, the major things. But the first 2 or 3 days, holy shit balls, man! The body aches, the throat, it was horrible. So, are you feeling better?
I'm feeling better now. Yeah. The weird thing for me was I actually like you said, I got over the main stuff in like 3 or 4 days. The freaking for me though, the fatigue,
the body ache,
lingered and lingered and lingered. And I think part of it was because like I would start to feel better and like, okay, let me get back to work and everything. and I would just exacerbate it, and it would just made it kept stretching out. But it took me almost a month to get over that shit.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this week was the first time I felt normal.
Yeah. The cough lingers, man. I think until maybe it was a few days ago, the cough finally left me. But yeah, it's no fun. But are you like me, Bob? Can you sleep through it? Like I'm
Yeah.
lucky. I can sleep through like colds and flus and stuff like that. So I pretty much slept for 2 days. You know, I just kind of slept it out, if that's a term.
Yep. But I'm gonna tell you what, I missed you guys, and I'm gonna offer one up to my Pontificator brethren.
Just one, man, because that'll knock you back to square one.
Yeah. But hail the chat, hail yourselves, hail Sun Comics 8.
Hell, Green Lantern. Yeah. I don't know if you're like me too. Like after I'm sick, or if I'm sick and I drink, my immune system just goes back to rock bottom.
Oh, yeah. That was the other thing with COVID, is it caused every other problem I had to just explode.
Yeah.
I haven't had a gout attack in like 4 years because of the diet change and everything. I got hit by it like a freaking freight train. It was in every joint.
Yeah, that helps with the body aches, right?
Yeah. That's the pain go away juice.
Well, I am so glad you're back, and I'm glad you're feeling better. Let's do some business here real quick. I invited all the guys, so they'll be in soon. So I already touched base with everybody in the chat, and I went over the topics.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a fun show, man.
It's going to be fun. And Art, did you do any work on this?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, what's Sean?
Am I sharing?
Aha! There you go.
There we go. Yeah, after this, I'll check it out. Yeah, so this is Black and White Volume 2, Man versus Machine. We had quite a week so far, 95,987, you guys.
Woo!
We are $13 away from 96K. Holy shitballs, man. And that's all because of you. That's the success of this campaign is CG, is everybody in the chat. It's everybody that supported this campaign, supported Black and White, supported me, and I greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, let's check out this video.
Yep.
From RT Bear comes the exciting conclusion to the Black and White origin saga. 60 pages of pulse-pounding action. In a world where law and order are often blurred to gray, justice can only be black and white.
I love the sound effect. Dude, I love the sound effects.
Back us now on Indiegogo. Yes, indeed, you guys. This campaign, just because it's in demand, it doesn't mean that we're not going to be introducing new stuff. We've been bringing some original artwork into this. We have Eric Huffles. He's doing some of those Keshi figures for us. We got a black and white one that are in production right now. And we have all kinds of cool stuff. So here's the main book here. We got some variants. We got the Kenneth Rocafort variant cover. We have the Joe Bennett variant cover. And we have the High Octane Adventure, which is done by Von Klaus, Monster MD, the creator, writer. And we have Pedro Ang. This is his first comic book work. He's got a lot of animation success, and he's bringing his animation skills to this book here. So we're so happy to have him here, and so we got volume 1, the second printing with a brand new cover on it, And we have the Grey Capullo variants. So we still have the one on the right available. And all these books are, you can add them on except for the Grey Capullo variant. We have original art. This is the only original artwork we have right now. And these are the story page layouts. And these are pretty much sold out. I got to pull those down. And then we have all these crazy stretch goals all the way up to 90K. I am going to have to come up with a 100K stretch goal very, very, very soon.
Gatefold cover.
What's that?
Since we're talking about image later tonight, man, gatefold cover, baby.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. I should look into seeing how much that would be. Yeah, you guys, we got T-shirts. We got the black and white T-shirts, the wraparound image. We have the Inco tees and all kinds of cool stuff. So the link is in the description, you guys. So if you like what you see, please back tonight, man, because we can get this thing to 96K. And I am coming back to Comic Book Bob. Here we go. Boom. Oh, we got all the brothers. We got all the brothers here. Look at this.
Woo.
Yeah, full house. 4 of a kind. How you guys doing?
Guys, my camera was giving me trouble, so I was fixing it. And then I dropped the guitar and broke a tuning peg.
Oh.
So yeah.
So no name that tune?
No, not today. I have to get another guitar from Panama. I'm going on the 8th, so I'll bring another one, and this one's going to the shop. I can show the damage.
Yeah, you have. That's what I was going to say. You got to show your guitar, man. Oh, this sucks, man. I know Clint was looking forward to that Nelson song.
I was jonesing for some Nelson.
Yeah, so you see a tuning peg
travesty
here.
Oh, shit.
It's gone.
Broke it clean off.
Yeah, it dropped at the right angle, so...
Nelson, did it knock it out as well?
Actually, when a tuning peg like this it gets broken, it's better to replace them. It's not that expensive. Like I use a brand name Hotshot. The set is like $20, and it's safer. So yeah.
Nelson will probably still sound good on a broken guitar.
Nelson doesn't sound good.
It couldn't sound any worse according to Comic Book Bob.
Yeah, no, Nelson.
Okay,
Nelson jinxed me.
Dude, Nelson sounds like cat screaming.
After the rain.
those guys were some pretty twins. So what was it? They had one song, right? They were a one-hit.
They had 2 songs. They had
two songs.
Love and Affection and After the Rain.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Both of them were absolute dog crap.
All right.
All the girls were like, "Oh, Nelson."
Well, they were
somebody go in right now and find that song. Since I get banned every Pontificator. We gotta play just a segment of
Which
that
one
song.
do you want? They're both equally shit.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't
those
care.
guys were really
Try to
blonde.
find the video too, so we can show everybody how pretty.
There you
the
go.
only reason anybody knew those guys, their dad was Ricky Nelson, so it was like a generational thing. Like he had like inroads in the music industry from the 50s. So
yeah, but there was no DNA talent.
No.
Exchange.
They were really good at growing out their long, straight blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
I know Clint was very jealous of their hair.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also, somebody says "After the Rain." Is that one of their songs?
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the video. Okay, so the video for After the Rain is kind of grainy and nasty.
Fire hose. Ooh.
So let's do the Love and Affection, because that one's actually you can actually see shit. Although
Okay.
Love and Affection.
I don't know why we want to see it, but
I have no idea, man. This is gonna lower all our T counts.
yeah, it
You know
is.
what? It's weird because all the
I am not going to put up with you guys just trashing hair metal. This was.
I'm not
the
trashing hair metal.
The glory days of getting trashy chicks at concerts, man. This stuff was aphrodisia for the ladies back in the late 80s and 90s.
I am not trashing hair metal. I'm trashing these guys. All right, you ready?
Good caveat.
Oh god, okay, you're gonna play something.
Oh Lord.
Mm.
This is gonna.
Look at how pretentious.
I know, all emotional and like you can just feel their mood. Oh yeah.
Done. Can we do this?
Yeah, check.
The dude's name is Gunner.
Okay, fine. Then this one's for her.
That's a cool name. It's
Well,
cooler
they had
than they are.
gangs.
Not on this guy.
Look at they had bangs.
3, 4.
Gunner, he should be named like Lady or something.
I can feel my balls shrinking.
Here she comes.
Oh, Jesus.
Seems like forever that she's been on my mind.
I'm gonna have to drink some liquid metal just to get this out of my system.
Dude,
I've enjoyed Bob King.
Next quote, Bob. Oh shit, it got better.
oh, they went to very 80s color. Very.
Oh,
look
man,
at
this
them
is like
both.
the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Look
dude.
at this! Look at this! Look at this friggin' color palette.
Yeah, dude. It's like, and he's wearing like pantaloons. What the hell?
Who didn't
Now
have a
they're
pair
playing
of
electric
knee-high pirate boots back in the
Yeah,
90s?
dude. Oh my God! Look at that jacket.
Oh man. All right, pause it, Bob. We can get.
Yeah, we're gonna get struck.
Yeah.
Can I just
So
kill
those
it?
were the days that denim ruled supreme, man. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
Levi
Yeah, dude.
loved this time.
We're gonna get
Oh.
struck for cultural appropriation from the gay community.
If
Check this out.
we get Arts Channel struck down for Nelson, everybody's
Yeah.
gonna feel bad about that one.
No. Like I said, man, the last three, I think, pontificators went down that way, and I think the last professionals that I hosted got popped as well.
Yeah, if you do anything with music of any kind, dude, you're gonna get nailed.
So
Yeah,
all I
yeah,
have
you
to
are.
say is, anybody in the chat that likes this, we can make up for that in super chats.
Oh yeah. Cool.
All right,
Jesus
I
Christ.
think we got YouTube off our scent. Let's go with some more of this.
Do I have to?
So it's Here She Comes. Is that what it's called?
It's called "Can't Live Without Your Love and
Without You.
Affection."
Oh,
Yeah.
but the verse or the chorus is like "Here She Comes," right, or something.
Yeah.
There's a
Or they stealing that
This was
from
back
like
your
the car.
heyday. You were too wasted back then?
Well, I didn't listen to Nelson. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a serious accusation, man.
This is some.
I
this
don't
is
even
a-
think I've ever seen this video.
I think these
before.
guys created bisexual color and lighting.
Yeah,
There's always those bands that come in that kill the fad, like grunge or metal, or there's like the last posers that show up, and Nelson was pretty much there to nail the coffin in on any kind of hair.
Oh yeah,
metal.
that was the
Hooker
death of
boots.
glam. Yeah,
I'm apologizing to the chat right now.
yeah. I think we need to.
All right, let's finish this up, man.
All right.
Oh no.
Man, they
the
got
choreography is spectacular. It's kind of like watching figure skating almost.
Yeah. In their immortal words, Beavis and Butthead, they're pretty enough to kiss.
All right.
Oh my God.
We've seen enough, Bob. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
God,
We punished
man,
everybody.
you know what?
I'm
I need to-
sorry.
I need to punch
I have
something
a,
so I
I
can
have a
my feel
sixth
levels back
sense of
up.
humor.
You know what? I'm just telling everybody that's watching the show right now. Pontificators is educational because I had no idea this was Nelson. So thank you, Clint, for bringing that. And thanks, Bob.
I threw out a bunch of bad bands, but like you guys jumped on Nelson as the worst. So
You know what? You threw out Faster Pussycat, and they're
Yeah.
so that's a good
Faster
band.
Pussycat was
no,
a
I
fun
love Faster
band.
Pussycat.
They were a fun band.
Don't they have that
All the
intro? Go, Pussycat.
Or something along those lines. It was very feminized. That whole
Oh
time.
yeah,
Yeah. The
Talking about dudes
pantaloons and
dressing
the,
up like ladies.
yeah.
Everybody gets bent out of shape about it now, and it's like that
Mhm.
was everywhere back
Dude,
then.
do you remember that first was it Poison's first album cover?
Oh god,
my
yeah.
God.
Every single dude looked like a freaking
These
chick,
are like
man.
the hottest chicks I've ever
Oh
seen.
my God.
Oh my God.
My,
Just like
my
a-
friend's band opened. No, Poison opened for them at the Roxy. My friend's band, they were called Fortress. I did the logo for them and everything.
Nice.
So
Wow.
they had a song. It was like Fortress, all for one, one for all. Fortress, no one shall defeat the wall. And it was like Fortress, boogie boogie Fortress, all for one, one for all. And so, anyways, they had like a castle backdrop and stuff, so they needed a lot of help. So I used to help them out. And so Poison opened for them. And believe it or not, Poison got booed off the stage because they
Oh,
wanted.
yeah.
Because my friend's band was a little bit more like Dio. It was a little bit harder edge. You know, it's more like it was more like it was heavy, heavy hair.
No, and Poison was atrocious live. Like that guitar player, CC DeVille, like he always sounded like he was having a
CC
stroke.
DeVille sucked.
Well, the dude was a
kind
horrible.
He was
running
like,
joke.
yeah, he was a heroin addict, wasn't he?
Dude, Cinderella. Okay, Bassmaster Dance. Like, why not mention Cinderella? Shake Me was not a bad song.
Oh yeah, there were some good songs from back then.
For the time.
But that,
shit!
Hey, look at that, man! Look at that. It looks like a hooker line.
Yeah, dude.
I want number 22. Thank you. Yeah, just lap
That's what the cat dragged in. Those are some pretty men.
Yeah.
Four
That's like they're prettier than Hanson.
Yeah, exactly.
There was some weird shit going on back then.
The good thing about Poison is at least they were of age. Hanson, those guys were all underage.
For the longest time, I thought the lead singer was a girl.
Everybody did.
The little drummer was a girl.
That was a horrible realization, man.
Dude, I remember. Oh God, I went to the Agora here in Cleveland, and it was I was a big Metallica head, and Poison was playing it, and a bunch of us actually stood up and turned our backs to them with our Metallica patches on the back of our jean jackets.
Nice.
It was like, screw you, man. You guys ain't freaking metal.
Well, I'll tell you how anti-Poison I was. I think that, God, what was his name? The drummer, was it Ricky Rocket?
Ricky
no, it was Gary Rocket was the bass player, I think.
No, it was the drummer.
I know this because a girlfriend of mine used to love those guys. And I was like,
it might have been his cousin Gerald Rocket.
It was Ricky. Yeah, no, you're right. It was Ricky Rocket.
Ricky Rocket,
and he did a book for Extreme Studios. Since we're talking about Image Comics, we're gonna go down that rabbit hole today or tonight. He came into the office a few times, and I was like, "Don't you want to meet him? He's a drummer just like you." He's not really a drummer. Like that dude's like he stands up and dances while he's playing the drums, doesn't he? He does something like that. Yeah.
I mean,
it was Poison. Like they weren't good.
Poison. Yeah.
They were just they were selling albums to 14-year-old girls. That's like what they were.
Yeah, that's not what it was. I remember like that same girlfriend bought me like the Ultimate Sin Ozzy Osbourne album. And then she gave me the Poison. I was like, I got you 2 records. No, you just got me 1. You can take the other one home. Get that shit away from me.
Is it too late to get our money back for this other one?
Yeah. Don Dokken. I saw Don Dokken a few years ago. He still can sing, man.
George Lynch is an amazing guitar player.
That's like a lot.
I saw George Lynch a year later. George isn't playing in Dokken anymore.
No, he's not. No.
But I saw him back to back 2 summers. Don could still sing, and obviously George could still wail.
Dude, he's an animal.
I'll tell you.
George actually legitimized that band as far as I know. Because I thought Don Dokken had a good voice, but it was a little too pretty for my taste.
Yeah.
I like a little bit more character.
I was just shocked because Don's got to be pushing 70, and he could still sing.
Yeah,
like
pushing 70.
I would think so.
Oh, Don Dokken, yeah, I think he's up there, dude.
Because Dokken was around way before hair metal started, and Don was the oldest guy in the group.
Yeah, I remember him in the club scene when I was playing and stuff. Yeah.
I think he's a contemporary with David Coverdale. Like he's from that time.
Yeah.
No. David Coverdale dates back to frickin'
Zeppelin, right?
Deep Purple.
Deep Purple,
yeah. That song "Burn." Holy shit!
Oh yeah, dude.
They're actually almost the same age. They're actually Don Dokken 68 and Dave Coverdale is 70.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Wow. Call Pedro.
Pedro called it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, David Coverdale must have been a youngster in the day then.
Yeah. He started.
You gotta remember, a lot of them dudes started young, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you somebody who did not age well and whose voice is just terrible now is Vince Neil.
Vince Neil went to the IHOP.
Vince Neil needs some cardio. I mean, we all need a little cardio, but Vince Neil needs a lot of cardio.
He went down the same. He went down the same road as Axel, man. Axel looks like he ate Duff McKagan. So,
Dude, have you seen Ingvar?
huh?
Ingvar Malmsteen, the guitar player.
No.
Dude, like he was like short. He was like a Swedish like elf, like short, skinny, like big hair.
I remember him.
Now he looks like a Swedish meatball. It's just, it's sad. It's sad, man. It's like, wow. But
age and success doesn't exactly help you keep your health.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Steve
I'll
Vai
tell
was
you,
just
like
saying-
Motley Crue was never a good live band. I think they had the you know, they were performers, but as far as the sound, they were never that tight.
It was all about Tommy Lee and his drum kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was so fast. There's like, I mean, Vince in good shape could barely keep up with the lyrics. Now it's like a joke. There's one video of him where he's just wheezing and like shouting out the last word of each line. He's like literally huffing and puffing. It's
I mean, Mick Mars was always a competent player. Like I always like how he composed, and he was always like on point. And the fact that he couldn't move because of his condition, like make him concentrate on the playing. So that's what I enjoy about Motley Crue.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Sure.
What hair band do you think is actually legit?
There's several who are really good.
What do you think? Okay, all right, I'm gonna name a couple of them. Hey, Def Leppard.
Good.
You think so?
They're good. They're good. The guitar players are very competent.
Okay.
They're very competent live.
Now,
never seen Twister live. I couldn't.
People consider them a hair band. I don't really consider Van Halen a hair band.
No, they're not.
They're kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
they're a hard rock band. Is what they're a hard
rock. They're hard rock. They're a 70s hard rock band.
Yes.
Yeah.
They came out of that LA explosion, but all the hair metal was kind of loosely based on that as a prototype. You know, like Motley Crue, if you look at it, I mean,
a lot of them
were definitely emulating, you know, Halen and
Lee Roth,
David Lee Roth as the lead singer. You know, get your hair long, do a bunch of dance moves, and like gyrate a lot.
Okay. Skid Row was a good band.
Skid Row. Well, that's Skid Row was all about Sebastian.
The band was good too. The band was
I agree with you, but the way that they presented them, it was all about Sebastian, and I think that's why it fell apart so quick.
Yeah, the marketing.
But they had material though. They had some pretty good material. That first album, I never really listened to them too much after the first album, but the first album I thought was pretty strong.
Okay, listen to the second album, Art, Slaves to the Grind.
It's very different.
Song by song, every song is good in that album.
I actually like that better than their first album.
Yeah.
Really?
The first album was like sound more like Bon Jovi, like Bon Jovi.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the second album, they sounded like themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The first album was that Youth Gone Wild song.
Yeah, Youth Gone Wild, 18 Alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cinderella.
No, I won't give it to Cinderella.
Look at Clint. Clint's like, I actually
One
like
song.
Cinderella.
Cinderella has one song.
None of it was bad.
What?
You know what? You guys remember?
First of all, I'm sorry.
You guys remember a band called Bullet Boys?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I thought those guys had something. They were like
Is that
Van
Smooth Up
Halen,
India?
a more contemporary version of Van Halen, and that singer could go to the moon and back. That Smooth Up India song.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit,
Yep.
man. Smooth Up India.
For example, like Queensryche, for example, it's a band that's from that time, but I don't consider them a hair band.
Yeah.
No, they did have hair though.
Yeah, they did have hair, but they were more like a prog band that tried to be poppy.
Striper,
that's one of my
pretty...
favorite. That's one of my favorite bands from that time. Is Queensryche. Every time they come into town, I go see them. It was kind of a shame that the way they imploded, but that new singer and those three, I think there's 3 albums out with that new singer.
Yeah,
it's pretty good stuff.
They came in right at the end when Hairband, I think, was just starting to slowly fade away.
Wind down.
I think that kind of hit them. But all right, I gotta ask you guys a question about this.
I'm
about to piss a bunch of people off.
But one last point.
Yeah.
The first singer of Queensryche was born in Panama.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was.
There was a different singer than that Jeff Tate, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They went through a lot of. They went to like 2 guys before they got to.
2 guys before Tate came in. Yeah.
Did they record an album with a different singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people in Panama like the song Panama by Van Halen?
Yeah,
Panama.
it's
I
our
mean, I
second
would
anthem.
think you like kind of want that as a national anthem.
It's our second anthem. We
All
have
right.
an anthem that sounds like a circus coming, but then we sing Panama and everything's cool.
White Snake.
White Snake. Okay. White
Art,
Snake.
are you agree? You agree with me, Art?
White Snake. I like the guitar player.
Alone.
I'll tell you, like Whitesnakes, before they kind of went hair metal, that the first couple Whitesnake albums, that band is Deep Purple. They had John Lord, they had Ian Pace, they had the bass player. They had like basically the whole band except for the singer. Well, they had the singer. They had David Coverdale. The only thing is they had a different guitar player. But they were more like rhythm and blues. They were like rock blues band. The first couple albums, and those things are pretty strong. They're not quite as poppy and as flashy as this flashy.
But
You think David Coverdale wanted to go Deep Purple with his White Snake?
But yeah, dude, like I think they owe a lot of their success to Tony Katane crawling around on top of that car, dude.
And the thing
Tony
like
Katane
the
sold
war,
some albums. God rest her beautiful soul.
Yeah.
The work of Vivian Campbell in Whitesnake was always top notch. That guy was a solid guitar player.
Well, they had. Do you remember? It was Adrian Vandenberg. There was a band called
Adrian Vandenberg,
and that was like one of their first guitar players in Whitesnake. And then they had what's his name, Steve Vai. When I saw
Steve Vai for a little while,
I was playing with him. Yeah.
All right, here's
another kind of bounced around and tried to be in bands, and it never worked out.
Here's another band. Here's another one that Clint probably likes.
Man.
Another one that Clint probably likes.
Damn
Yankees.
Terrible taste in music, guys.
Damn Yankees. I can't remember a song.
Can you take me high enough? God. How much money did they drive up to Ted Nugent's house to be a part of that band?
What was the band that those guys were from? Like the one singer what was that Sister Christian?
They were from like kind of the I don't even know what to call it.
There's Tommy Shaw from Styx.
Oh yeah.
What's it? Jack, whatever his name from Night Ranger.
From Night Ranger.
That's the band.
Yeah. Ted Nugent and crap, I don't remember the other guy. Michael.
Oh, the guitar player. No, was it
Michael? Let me look it up.
The drummer. Yeah, I think that was the first band though.
But that's the most money Ted Nugent ever made, probably.
Oh shit!
That's when he
Ted
bought all his guns
to make money, and I don't blame him. Like,
hey, do you know who used to sing lead on some of the Ted Nugent songs? It was Meatloaf.
Meatloaf,
know that he
they collabed a lot. I have another band that they're a super group. I think still. Just like David Hasselhoff is big in Germany, these guys are big in Japan.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big.
They have one song.
Yeah, they have one song, Colorado Bulldog. Amazing song.
That's a good. There's a lot of good musicians in that band. But if you want to hear what happened to that band, there's a band with David. What's his Portnoy?
Dave Portnoy. Yeah.
Is it Mike Portnoy?
Mike Portnoy, the guy from Dream Theater.
Yeah. He's on the drums, and then it's the bass player and guitar player singer from Mr. Big, and they're called the Winery Dogs.
Nice.
And the material's okay, but the musicianship is insane.
Yeah, dude. The things that we're talking, Paul Gilbert, and the name of the bass player escapes me right now, but that's another animal. Billy Sheehan, that's an animal. And dude, the Mike Portnoy, like it's impossible to not sound incredible.
None of these guys could touch Winger though.
Oh jeez.
Freaking Kip Winger was the bomb, man.
Freaking
Kip Winger.
I mean,
close up.
When your last name is the name of the band, that's only something that Van Halen can do.
Bon Jovi, how dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
God, man, I put Winger in the same category as Warrant.
Warrant.
Freaking Warrant, man.
Cherry pie. Yeah.
Oh, that Cherry Pie song got more ass and more money.
Oh yeah, they do.
Sure, but
they have asses.
I'm shallow when it comes to like music. It's like,
what about the was it Firehouse?
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Finally found the love of a life. That
these
power
guys
ballad shit was just god awful.
But this was just the music industry pumping out just like copycat things to make money.
Yeah.
Because they saw the writing on the wall. This wasn't gonna last.
You know what?
How many copycat bands got cranked out in the series of probably about 4 years?
It was
Like
it was the hair metal ballad that killed the genre.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you, when grunge came in, I was so thankful. Not that I'm a big grunge fan, although Scott Weiland is R.I.P. man.
Yeah,
that dude is so freaking talented. We lost a major player.
You know,
Anyway,
I mean, this is personal.
When they came in and destroyed hair metal, I was like, thank you.
Yeah, I was always a metalhead parallel to hair metal, so I was like aware of what was happening, but I was like listening to Metallica, Exodus, you know, Pantera came in 1990 with Cowboys from Hell, and I was already listening like to Living Colour and Fishbone, and there was like a lot of bands like alternative and also funk, because people like see grunge, but they don't remember like what the Chili Peppers were doing and that like whole underground. Like there was an alternative to hair metal. But yeah, with grunge came in and destroyed everything, and then you saw everybody like threw their like final net like hair fixer and got the flannels and the Doc Martens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good. But that became a cliche in itself.
Pretty much a documentary of what happened.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the Image 30-year look back, their anniversary?
Yeah.
Or do you guys want to get into the Joe Rogan free speech stuff? Or
Let's do Image first, man.
Yeah, let's keep it happy. Yeah, Image.
Yeah.
No, let's bring everybody down.
Yeah. Well, Bob, you had something you wanted to share. You said something that you remember this.
I went and I most of my comics are upstairs, but I have some of them down here. And I went and I grabbed some of the number ones and stuff that came out from Image in like the first year. And then I also got some stuff from the second generation, which that's a thing that people forget, is that it wasn't just that, the Image 7 guys went over there and just changed the game and everything, but they brought in so many freaking people.
The second row, Dale Keown's pit was as big as any of the first round of the Image stuff.
Well, if you guys don't know, anybody is listening, Image Comics is celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. And so a lot of the Image guys are making the rounds. I think Bob was saying, hey, can you get Rob Liefeld on a Pontificators? I don't think that's going to happen. But Will Spertasio went on the Pop Speed last night. And I went in there and harassed Will Spertasio a little bit. I was claiming victory and that I created Bishop. And he conceded. He conceded on the show. He said, yeah. Art created that and a lot of other things. Or he said something like that. And I was like, there you go.
We'll get a check eventually, because Bishop will show up in the MCU.
Yeah. That's what you call an MMA a submission, Art.
Yeah.
Just make him tap. But, that was good.
But for the record, I didn't create Bishop. He just
you were just there talking crap.
No,
speaking of which,
know that. Don't admit that, Art.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pitt, though, man.
You're gonna forego the $25. Marvel's gonna pay you for putting Bishop on a
shiny white teeth.
First ripping issue.
Ripping
first issue, dude. Freaking man, like
that logo kicked ass, man.
God,
awesome logo.
Yeah, everybody chased that dragon, man, for that cover. Everybody's like, let's do a monster and put a big face on a cover.
Yeah, but like this has one of my favorite pieces that you don't see a lot of this. Like you don't see them drawing guys from the back, like the back musculature and everything. But you look at this friggin' double page spread, and that's just friggin' raw power, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm like, I bought like multiple copies of this, and I would like cut the pictures out of this and like try to recreate them.
You know what? The color still holds up too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing too is like this. I actually like Pitt because the other books had like the shiny, had like the glossy paper. Mm-hmm. This it was the same paper, but it didn't have the gloss on it, so it had like that like a slightly duller finish.
Yeah,
but it fit the book better because it felt raw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Also, it's easier to read. Like the glossy paper is a little tough.
The gloss
didn't have
does
that.
affect how the book looks. So that I do remember
Come
that
on,
different
dude.
paper.
Oh wait, hold on. I should just keep it on.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, how badass that is. God,
Yeah,
I love
that
this
book was insane.
This book
You
was
know
so
what? I
good.
remember Pam and I, we had a licensing deal and we were pitching Black and White around town in '94. And we met with Ed Pressman. And Ed Pressman actually, his representative that we were meeting with is like, have you ever heard of this book called Pit? And I was like, yeah. It's like, this guy Del Keown, this book is amazing. We're really looking into this thing. I mean, if we could get, terms, we'd make a Pit movie in a heartbeat. And I was like, oh, okay. How about Black and White?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll back it
that's-
up.
none of that is helping me.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can't. No, this is like one of the reissues that they did a few years ago with Spawn #1. But man, how many people saw this thing and just lost their friggin' mind?
You know what's
I
cool
saw
about
it in
this stuff?
Spanish.
Yeah, it's iconic now. You look
Yeah.
at these images and you're like, oh, like this is the first appearance of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, or Superman, with the car lifting over his head, like
Yeah.
these are iconic, images.
Man, and it's just like I miss these guys. I miss a lot because a lot of them just don't do any interiors and stuff anymore.
Mm.
But and then even
Yeah,
Eric
who
Larson, dude.
even is still drawing that much of the original? I don't think any of them are drawing that often. You can put Eric Larson stuff down.
Dude,
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 that crap.
First cover,
that first cover was dope, man. Yeah, and like Brett Booth just did a recreation of this. It just looks
Yeah,
so.
I
It
saw
just
that.
this is when Eric still actually knew what the hell he was doing, was drawing.
Oh, he was nice enough to keep his mouth shut too, so he didn't have to
Yeah.
listen to all of his garbage.
And before
Actually-
the porn, too.
I actually
Yeah.
did a backup story in an issue of Savage Dragon at one point.
he did
Yeah.
he did the Akira lines on that cover, Bob, and you're welcome. You're welcome for that.
But
I
that's
was
the other
doing
thing.
that on Adventures of Superman over Dan Jurgens in the day.
But and then again, because this book was a lot more visceral, it didn't have the glossy paper. It was like the dull paper. It's the same. It was the same high quality paper, just without the gloss.
So now the current Savage Dragon isn't the original Savage
No.
Dragon, right?
No,
So the original Savage Dragon is dead,
I believe so. Yeah,
and then this is his son.
it's like his son or something. Yeah.
Okay,
His
I
son-
have probably the first year of Savage Dragon from back in the 90s, but I haven't.
Well, his
I-
son
but-
now dresses in women's clothing, so.
My favorite.
I like a lot of other people haven't picked up the Savage Dragon in
Yeah.
15, 17, 18 years.
Now,
He's a
Yeah.
lumberjack.
my two favorite. I don't know about you guys. My two favorite books that first came out of the original Living Seven guys.
Shadowhawk.
Cyberforce.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
those are the.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Jim
Well-
Lee and Mark Silvestri, man.
Once we're done gushing all over Cyber Force and Mark Silvestri, I'll tell you Cyber Force Mark Silvestri.
I mean, you remember these guys? These things like they had all these deals and stuff,
Oh,
like how to
yeah.
get a
The
copy
Zero
of Image
issue,
Zero. Yeah.
Which I don't. Did it ever come out?
I don't remember.
Oh, it did.
It
Okay.
did. It did. Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, man, come on, man. Old school friggin' Mark
No,
Silvestri.
Silvestri and Jim Lee are at the
God.
top of their game.
Yeah.
That's
Both of them.
iconic right there. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Again, and then art.
Yeah. Oh, wrap around.
Wrap
Around
around.
cover, baby.
Mm.
Wrap around cover art. I'm just saying, 100,000.
Well, okay. So we're all still at Marvel Comics, right? And so I don't know how this came about. I think Jim Lee put it together, but there was a promoter, and so we were doing these X-Men tours all across, the United States. And so what it ended up becoming, in a way, is a recruiting. So we were meeting with different people in different states. So like I remember like Stroman and Silvestri and different people like that eventually did come over to Image Comics. We would hang out, have dinner, have lunch with whatever. And Jim would give them the pitch about like, this Image Comics or whatever it was, right? So the best part about this time is I was getting wined and dined by these guys. It was awesome, right? So Silvestri lived in the South Bay, and so did Pamela and I. We had a townhouse in Redondo, and they lived in Malibu. And so I remember Silvestri and his girlfriend came over, Cynthia, and we had dinner together. And he gave me the full pitch of Cyberforce, and he was like, "I would really like you to ink it."
Oh.
And I was just like, "I'm there. And so I agreed to it. And so the thing is, the weird thing is, I don't know how it happened, but communication just broke down. So there was never any follow-up. So I just assumed that nothing was coming of it. So I didn't really pursue it. And there was other things that were happening that were easier. Like I didn't have to work hard, or I didn't have to push it forward, which was like, Rob Liefeld, wanted me over at Extreme Studios. Jim Lee wanted me at Homage. And the deal was also with Homage and Jim and Wills was that I was supposed to ink Wetworks. So my 2 books at Image Comics that never happened was going to be Cyberforce and Wetworks. So that was going to be my big leap over to Image Comics. And so I guess in the long run, it was better that it didn't happen, because I think Mark Silvestri only put out 1 issue for the whole year.
Yeah.
And I think Wills, because his sister, he lost his sister.
Yeah.
And so he kind of couldn't move forward. So I think Wetworks took 2 years or something like that for it to eventually come out.
There was a big gap with Wetworks for sure.
Yeah.
With his family tragedy.
Both of those things would have meant that, I didn't make that much. There it is for that year. So I ended up, staying at Marvel. I kind of lagged back at Marvel, and I did cable, and then I went over to Extreme Studios. Look at that! Oh, this is why you keep saying gatefold, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. God dang man, these guys were the kings of the special covers, man.
That is awesome.
God, that is so awesome.
So again, when did this come out? Did it come out the 2nd year of Image or the 3rd year of Image?
This came out in '94, so I think it came out that 2nd year, because Image started in '92.
That 2nd year, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
well,
same.
who ended up? Was it Bat that ended up inking Silvestri, or was it?
No, it was. No, the first couple of issues of
Scott Williams first.
Scott Williams, yeah. And then
Scott Williams inked him. Okay.
But actually, the first issue, Mark inked himself. Mark inked the first Cyberforce, and then Scott came in because for some reason, like this was before Top Cow. Mark started hanging out at Homage, which wasn't Wildstorm at the time. I think it was still Homage Studios.
Yeah.
And so Mark was using a lot of Homage talent. So I think colorist he was using, and he was using Scott Williams in the early issues. And then Bat came in. I'm not sure if Bat was a Silvestri hire or a Jim Lee hire, because they were so like interconnected in those early days before Pop Cow and before Mark started his own studio.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, like I kind of remember like Silvestri was in the studio with Jim when Image first started out.
Look at the detail on that, man. God dang, I miss this version of Wills.
Yeah,
when his line work was super tight.
Well, I mean, this is all 20 years ago. Like none of those guys. The only. Well, I'm trying to think of any of them. Like even Jim is like his stuff looks vastly different than early Wildcat stuff.
Yeah, Mark started doing that more sketchy style.
Yeah,
which still looks awesome as hell.
Yeah, and then, I love the way Silvestri stuff, but he never puts anything out. I don't even know if he's still working on anything.
Silvestri inks like a penciler. Like he's got that kind of sketchy. Like you can see the movement with his hand when he inks. So it's kind of choppy, but there's a lot of kinetic energy to it too. There's a lot of movement because it's not real fluid. You know what I mean? It's not real solid. So it's very kinetic. There's a lot of energy going on.
Was Silvestri, was he married to a Playboy Playmate, or was his girlfriend a Playboy Playmate, or am I remembering all of that wrong?
It's very, very hot.
She just looked like a Playboy Playmate.
Yeah, I think I knew Mark when his girlfriend was Cynthia, and I don't know if they were engaged or what, but Mark used to have these parties at his Malibu house after San Diego Comic-Con every year. so everybody would go there and hang out. And I do remember there was one of these parties, and Cynthia, like we already knew each other, so Cynthia came over, like she was like, "Hey, Art," like doing one of those things, and Mark was coming over as well, and she tripped and she fell like into me, and I went to catch her by her bosoms.
Oh,
And
Well,
so
it's
I
better than
remember,
letting her fall and get hurt.
yeah, exactly.
I remember kind of like
Poor
putting
thing.
her back to right, and then just looking up because Sylvester, like he's a big
Oh, he's a
dude.
tall dude.
And he
Yeah.
was just hulking over me, and I was like, oh shit! And he just smiled and laughed, like, well, I saw
Yeah.
It happened.
It
It
happened.
happened.
Okay, so does everybody remember the debacle that was Deathmate?
Do I was kind of part of it.
Yeah, I mean, did you? Did
Oh
you
yeah,
do,
I've
you
got
did
that
some-
issue somewhere.
Yeah, did you do any pages and stuff in this art?
I didn't do any pages. I did of all things, I did the covers for the what was the other company? Valiant. I did the covers for Valiant. I did the two covers. So they were called like Deathmate Blue, Deathmate Yellow, and
Yeah,
it
this
had-
was the one that this is the only one I really liked because it had all the artists that I liked at the
Yeah,
time.
that was the thing. Is some of the books like
yeah.
some of the good artists were in one book, and then there was
Yeah.
some like Valiant.
Well, like this book had
Yeah.
Brandon Peterson, Brett Booth, Mark Silvestri, Jeff Scott, J. Scott Campbell, Scott Clark, Greg Capullo, Jim Lee, Will Sportasio, and the inkers were Scott Williams, Sal Regla, and Alex Garner, and Trevor
all
Scott.
the Wildstorm guys.
Yeah, all the Wildstorm guys. But that's the other thing too, man. Is like,
and then it went to, and Valiant was a completely different art style at that time.
Oh, God, yeah.
This was Shooter running Valiant at that point, and it was very realistic. It wasn't energetic. Everything was like not photorealistic, but like very like static. Like it was,
It was more like-
traditional. Yeah, it was more like a traditional kind of storytelling, like old school Marvel.
Yeah.
Very rigid, very in the panel, and of course, Image was like everything and anything. They
like the
did
complete opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, just a ton of energy. It's kind of like listening to 1950s music and then listening to late 60s music. How it just completely it's still rock and roll, but it was different.
It was a hard right turn storytelling and art direction wise.
Dude,
Yeah.
remember this?
Yeah.
Everybody had to do their big face cover.
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
the foil
the
covers.
chromium on the metal.
Yeah.
That's cool. That was a
Yeah.
pretty cool idea.
They were and this was actually one of my favorite books they put out, and that was let me get it out of the bag here
was
so you
Jay
can actually
Lee.
see it. Yeah, it was the
Get it out
Wildstorm
of the baggie.
But this is like
Oh,
this
look at
weird
that.
foil, like it's got this weird texture to it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just
Is it embossed?
iconic. It's not embossed, but it has like where the metallic parts are. There's like where the black ink is. There's like a texture. It's almost
So,
like
yeah.
the UV stuff.
Yeah, it's
Chrome
like
or
that. It's
something.
like the black line art is like on top of the finished metallic cover.
Yeah,
Those were great. Those were great covers.
Yeah.
Like because a lot of those gimmicky stuff you couldn't see the artwork very well anymore. But those ones, they were pretty good. They worked together really
yeah.
well.
And this is when Jay was like at the top of his game, man. Like I love that
Yeah,
dude.
he had just kind of showed up at Marvel.
Yeah.
And then this was like, because he had done that Submariner miniseries,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Written by
Yeah.
John Byrne. And
when they made Submariner basically a soggy Conan.
yeah, and it was like, holy shit, who is this guy?
Yeah,
And then
but that was
later
the other
a
thing
businessman
too.
in a suit.
But that was the other thing too. Was the after like I said the Image 7 guys came in. They brought in so many new guys, like the next generation of guys that they brought in. Like I can't remember. Like I got this from a send away, but this is Trevor Scott and Brett Booth.
Oh yeah.
Trevor
Stormwatch
Scott.
Zero. Yeah,
Trevor Scott got it started at Hack Shack Studios.
and Clark's and Scott Clark.
Yeah, Trevor and I were taking life drawing classes together over at the local JC, and I just said, "Hey, you ever think about working on comics?" And he's like, "Not really." And so he came by the apartment, and I was working on Adventures of Superman, and we just got talking. And so he started assisting me on those books. And he later, has a whole career, now as talent. So I'm so glad. He was so young, man.
Yeah, and then this was like the first work we got from J. Scott Campbell. And you remember how like he had like a really weird way he would do faces?
Yeah.
Like this page over here is the J. Scott Campbell one.
It's like Travis Charest when he first started.
Yeah. Oh man.
It was not that good, and then like it seemed like just a year later, all of a sudden he's like this amazing talent.
When he was a Jim Lee clone. Yeah. This was like this was the first big thing that he did.
Oh yeah, I remember the early Travis. This was like this first thing after Dark Stars.
Yeah, and I really like this cover, and there's some really good art in this book.
He was really good at certain things at that point, but then when he got out of his comfort zone, it looked really weird.
Like the cloth on this is friggin' insane.
Yeah.
But like he could do faces and poses, and not have to like story tell too much.
Yeah, and that was the thing though, and like if you look at this pinup, the faces they almost all look exactly the same. Like you would like there's certain elements of the faces that are exactly the same.
Yeah.
But then like you said, like a year or two later, he started doing Wildcat. He and then what was it he really peaked when he did that Wildcats X-Men.
Oh yeah,
crossover, and then did the relaunch of Wildcats.
Those books were insane.
Which is when his artwork changed to this.
Yeah,
well, he started doing that like ink wash stuff and everything.
Yeah. Like that's like this is that's
probably his best stuff right there.
Yeah, when he changed over to this and
the X-Men Wolverine Zealot story that he did.
And Richard Friend was inking him. I remember, I think they had to ink him with a rapidograph, I think what was it? Travis had this is how you needed to do it. I think he was inking that rapidograph.
Yeah, but
his lines were so thin that you couldn't use a brush on most of that stuff except to fill black.
But he just leveled up like a god.
Yeah,
it was just crazy, and that was the cool thing about Image was bringing all these guys as they moved through the years. They brought in all these new guys, and you had J. Scott Campbell, you had Brett Booth, Joe Mad, Battle Chasers, which is still one of my
all the cliffhanger guys.
That was
Ramos, and
that was towards the end of the big Image.
Yeah.
I don't know. Of all the cliffhanger guys, my favorite is always Ramos.
Humberto Ramos, with Crimson.
Mm-hmm.
But then Brett Booth did Backlash.
Yeah. Well, let's back up for a minute. Then there was Out There, and wasn't that Brian Augustine, R.I.P.?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Out There.
Mm-hmm. We lost
that was an awesome series too.
Michael Turner.
Ballistic.
Michael Turner, which had
was that Turner on Ballistic?
Yeah, that's Turner. Where
that was his first stuff. Okay,
that was his first solo book, like the book that they gave him to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah, the cool thing is each one of the studios had a major standout talent. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So like Top Cow, had Dave Finch and had what was it? Michael Turner.
Yep.
And then Wildstorm had.
Back when we were sexy.
Campbell and Travis
Charest.
Yeah, right. And then Todd had friggin'
Greg Capullo.
Greg Capullo.
Yeah.
Dude, I love.
Although wasn't Capullo on X-Force before he went over to Todd?
He was on X-Force, but his style,
his style was very different. He was trying to do a Jim Lee sort of thing.
Yeah, he was kind of trying to do like a Jim Lee
model thing. And then once he went over to Todd's studio,
who inked Greg's first Image work?
Was it?
Was four of us? I'm betting on you.
That
it wasn't me.
Was it that T Bear guy that takes credit for everything?
Did you ink him on Spawn, or what was the first thing you inked him?
It was Spawn. I think it was after it was the start of the second year. So I think it was
going to say
maybe it was 14, 15, 16.
I was going to say Todd only did about the first year of it, and then it switched over.
Yeah.
But this was
Jim Lee trying to do Frank Miller.
Yeah, but this was one of my favorite covers because it has that almost like a UV coating again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of hard to see on here, but if you like, I'm trying to get the light on.
There it is.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah,
You know,
but yeah,
all I can hear is that Spinal Tap joke. You're like, it's so black. It's black. I can see myself.
But again, this is
glove
when
cover.
Yeah, sniff the glove. Yeah.
This is when he was trying to emulate Frank Miller.
Yeah.
But then the book about like this was okay. I liked this because I was a big Jim Lee fan. But the book I really liked was the flip side. Nick Manabat's Cybernary, because this was the first. This is when they tried to do the flip book thing.
Mm.
But and then I know, rest in peace, Nick Manabat. That guy, he had such a cool dark style.
There was a lot of work put into every one of those.
Yeah. But and it's kind of hard to see on here. But like, man, he was a cool dude. And I remember being so disappointed when this book basically got canceled. And they just basically moved away from it. But let me ask you a question, Art. Why don't you think they do more of these things? Like, remember the sketchbooks?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
You know, the sketchbooks and the sketchbooks and the source books.
I still have my Cyber Force. That was definitely very Hollywood, right? It was almost like a pitch guide.
Yeah.
For Hollywood, yeah.
But it was also a way for them to highlight their new talent. Like this is like there's Dave Finch right there. That's like one of the first things he did.
It also have like optioned or like not optioned? Like doesn't it have like on the bottom of the pages? Does it have this is like a movie that's been optioned or a video game or something like that on them? Like
this one doesn't have that. This one, but it does list like the artist and everything.
Maybe I got something else. Maybe because it looks exactly like that, the one I remembered, but it definitely is like a pitch book for Hollywood. So it gives like this one has been optioned, or this one's with whatever. This one is currently being shopped around, like status reports on the concepts. So they can just give that to an agent or give that to their agent, and then they could shop it around.
But you got you got Benitez. Like
Benitez came out of Top Cal too.
Yeah, Joe Benitez. You've got some really early Michael Turner.
Yeah. Wasn't Ali Garza in Top Cow too?
Was that?
Wasn't Ali Garza in Top Cow?
No, he was Wildstorm, I believe.
Yeah.
Wildstorm?
Yeah.
Like the big two don't want to focus on artists. They don't want to promote the artists anymore.
Nope.
That's part of it. And I mean, actually, if you look at CG, like Malin's doing that kind of stuff where he's finding new talent.
Yeah.
And putting out like supplemental books and stuff in his campaign. And Pedro, right there. Pedro is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Who are you?
White High Octane, man, is
yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
Oh no, man. I love Malin, but I'm Bear Fang already all the way.
I'm looking in here to see if your name pops up, man.
In what?
In any of this stuff. They got Richard Bennett here. Dude, how badass is that?
Dude.
That is so freaking cool. Dude,
Man,
I actually really liked Stormwatch, like the idea of Stormwatch. I mean, I think the Authority, when they did the Authority, it came back, it was better. And then of course, Scott Clark.
Man, it's amazing how many of these people are gone now.
Yeah, dude, that's like,
oh, this is sad. Yeah, it's been 30 years, but still, holy shit.
It's crazy. Matt Braum, remember Braum?
God, that guy's an egomaniac. I think that dude on
Who's ready?
Watch, and he got me fired. That dude was out of control.
Who's ready for story time with Uncle Art?
There we go.
Dude, man, this piece, this is one of my favorite pieces from Alex Garner. This right here on this page.
Well,
like right there, that Hellstrike.
yeah.
Like it's hard to like the camera's not picking up all the line art, but there's crazy line work in this thing.
And like Alex Garner became like amazing like digital artist. That guy is really good.
So did Garner and Campbell co-create Danger Girl? I always find that or is it just Garner?
There was a writer, I forget his name now, that Scott Campbell worked with, wasn't there? And they co-created Danger Girl, I believe.
Oh, okay. See, I thought Garner was involved in the creation. That's why they could use it at IDW because Garner was still attached. But I don't know.
Yeah.
These were cool because they put these out, and I think it's a really smart idea too for books where people are looking for a place to jump on and like know who these characters are and stuff like that. They put these out, and it kind of told their backstory and everything.
No, yeah, for sure.
You know, and it was just like, but they're just cool little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always loved these. I loved ash cans.
Jimmy.
This is the writer Jimmy Reyes says it's Hartnell. I don't know his first
Oh,
name.
that's who I'm thinking of. Hartnell, yeah.
That's
Hartnell.
the guy that co-created Danger Girl, I believe.
Okay, I was thinking of
Andy.
Gardner. But Gardner was the inker.
There's the one that you were talking about, Art, the first issue of the first Cyberforce Universe source book.
Okay, yeah.
But and it was just really cool.
Very shiny.
Yeah, see that's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the high gloss stuff because I feel like it makes it harder to see the artwork and everything.
Yeah.
But I get it. But I'm trying to see maybe you did something in the Youngblood one.
Some of those specialty covers, though, like some of them worked, and some. I mean, that was the nice thing is they were trying everything back in the day, just because they had the energy and the ability to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of it turned out really cool, and some didn't work. But
yeah,
you would see some weird covers come out during the 90s.
Yeah.
But the cool thing too about and getting back to the just like how big a deal Image was it wasn't just the stuff that they were doing because they were like I said, they were just throwing they're just trying everything, but it forced everybody else to change too.
Oh yeah,
you know, and a lot of like the Marvel guys that came up, they were putting out some crazy work too. And like I had just happened to grab this, which was Sabretooth #1.
Oh yeah,
you know, by Texera, and you look at this, man.
Yeah, that's an iconic image as well.
God,
that's really cool. I didn't appreciate like the armored Captain America, and that came around that time. that was a mess. But yeah, dude, like everybody had to step up their game at that time.
Yeah,
it was very exciting.
I remember the armored Captain America. That was atrocious.
X-Men fighting with Stridex against Acme.
Yeah, that's Phil Adams continuity, right? They did all of that.
But
he probably got paid more for that ad than the person did for the entire book.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
The order forms.
Yeah,
back in the day, man.
Wow, dude.
God, this is like it's like taking a walk down memory lane. But
dude, I would order comics via mail, and it would take like 4 months for them to get to Panama.
Jeez. Yeah. Check out, dude, another iconic image, man. Look at that Travis Karras. Jeez, man.
Right.
God dang. And Michael Golden right here.
That thing.
There you go.
Just
dream posing, man.
And Image was such an important the first phase of Image was such an important moment in comics.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of like CG. You know, you go outside the box, you do quality. You know, you inspire, and I mean, look at how quickly within 3 years that Comicsgate has built. You know, and has attracted people to it, and you know, we're already to the point of like second generation guys or people that came up in CG that were never published before and are doing really well, like great campaigns, things like that.
I'm not doing well yet.
Pedro, and then it's like Rob Willis. There's just a bunch of guys, like, you know, there's Von Klaus, you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of guys that are just coming in and just, you know, making a mark in this new industry. And I think what we're doing in a way is more brave than Image, because I remember I had a conversation with some of the Image guys just a few years ago. It's probably been 10 years ago now, but it seems like a few years ago because I'm old. And we were talking. It's like, you know, I think I said like we put it all on the line, to go to, to leave Marvel and to do all this stuff. And then I forget who I was talking to. It was Rob or Jim or maybe it was Silvestri. I said, not really. I mean, it was pretty calculated. I mean, if the shit hit the fan, we could have went back to Marvel easily, because you're still at the top of your game.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, this was Jim Lee, because Jim lives in San Diego, or did. And there was this comic company called Pacific Comics. And they published like Jack Kirby and Mike Grill, and I think Dave Stevens, Rocketeer came out of that, and all this stuff. And I remember talking to Jim in the early days about like, oh, well, Image Comics would be like Pacific Comics. And he said, with one difference, those guys were not at the top of their game. He said, all of us are at the top of our game. We're still moving up. Those guys were already kind of moving down. Nothing again. Everybody's got, those ebbs and flows and ups and downs. So it wasn't meant as like derogatory or anything. It was just like an observation, just business. And he was right. You know what I mean? So Image was a pretty safe bet when you look at it, although to me still, it didn't feel like that. Maybe those guys had the confidence, but I still felt like I wasn't going to get asked back to Marvel. And I think maybe because I have the perspective of going back to Marvel after Image and the shit, Bob Harris put me through to get me back there. I mean, for the first maybe 6-8 months, I was inking every bullshit assignment that Marvel could throw at me. They weren't giving me any good books, so they wanted to make sure that, I paid my dues, again, and that they would treat me as poorly as they could get away with. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you a question, though, Art. Do you think if you had gone back and say like 96, when Image was still like really still riding pretty high, do you think if you went back then that they would have treated you differently?
It was probably 96 when I went back.
Oh, really?
The collapse was 95.
I thought the collapse was like 96, 97. I thought that's when right around there.
Because this is how I remember, okay? Black and White came out in 94, and that was huge. Like, we did crazy numbers, right? So then that was a miniseries. So then Pamela and I were like, let's do an ongoing, right? But what we're going to do is for the next maybe year, we're going to inventory issues. So then by the time, because already Image wasn't shipping on time, there was kind of a reputation. So we wanted to make sure that we wouldn't fall into that pitfall. So we wanted to make sure that we had enough issues in hand before we launched the first issue, which we did. And I remember my man on the street was always Nick Barucci, because he ran Dynamite and stuff like that. So I'd always ask him the numbers, how's the industry going? And within that year, from 94 to the end of 95 or whatever, the industry, every month, man, the numbers were going down. And so then I remember just before the book came out, Nick and I had a conversation, and he said, this is probably what you'll do. And so it came in half of what he predicted. That's from the time that he predicted it to the time the book came out. So I believe that was 95. So it was probably 95, 96 that I went over to Marvel Comics, because no, you might be because I think my daughter was born in 97. So it was around the time she was born. So my wife was pregnant, 9-10 months. So yeah, it was probably 96, somewhere around there, to 97, somewhere in that area. That's when I went back to Marvel. And by then the ship was sinking, like extreme guys, like I left Extreme, and then Jeff Matsuda left Extreme. And then Chap and Sam Liu, and then we started a studio together. So when those guys left, I left, and then we liked each other, so we wanted to hang out. So we got a studio together where all of us worked. And then later, Chris Leitner and Aaron started working out at that studio, and those are the guys that created Liquid. So those are the guys that brought like that image coloring to Marvel.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they worked there. So we had like in that office, we had a common room, and then we had 3 rooms. So we had like the penciler room, we had the inker room, and then we had the colorist area. And so a lot of those guys were jumping ship. So I remember like Larry Stucker, who was inking Todd Knock, he came over and started working with me out of that office. And Jaime Mendoza, he came over, and just so on and so forth. So a lot of those guys at Extreme were just they didn't necessarily jump ship and work out of that office with us, but they were hanging out there a lot. Mickey and
there was no work all of a sudden.
Yeah, because they didn't know what was next. So they knew that we were going into the mainstream. So Jeff Matsuda was working on X Factor. I was working with Jeff on X Factor, but we had done like a bunch of Malibu stuff prior to that. And so
didn't Jeff do Wolverine? Jeff did like a storyline in Wolverine too, right?
Probably did one or like a mini series or something like that. Yeah, Jeff was pretty fast when he wanted to be, but he was also one of those procrastinators. So like the first half of the book would come in pretty quick, and then the second half, would come down to the wire. And but it was okay because we shared office space, so it was just like, here, do this, so we could
makes
get
a huge difference.
Yeah, we could get things done.
Is Sam Lou still directing at Sony?
Yeah, let me get this real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Sheldon Martin, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Back art, Creator of Bishop, Light, Volume 2, today on Indiegogo. Yeah, and you know what, Bishop? Hell yeah. You heard it last night. Wills actually said it.
Do you think we could actually get Wills on here?
I think we could probably get Wills on before we get Rob Liefeld.
That would be cool, just to like talk to one of those
awesome.
guys.
Yeah,
and ask them just pick their brain for it. But Jimmy had a question: is Sam Lou still directing at Sony?
I think not at Sony, at Warner Brothers. So he's doing all those direct to video, like animated movies and stuff like that.
So direct to streaming.
Yeah, Sam is like second to like Bruce Timm. I think those guys are like, the guys over at Warner Brothers. I remember I went over to Warner Brothers when I was pitching Chrono, and I had lunch with Sam Lou, and Sam was working on The Batman, and Jeff Matsuda was doing all the design work, and he was just bagging on Jeff because we're all like friends, right? So we can talk like this, and we know that it's all done with love. And so he's like, how Jeff angles the eyes like this? I go, yeah, it's really cool stylistically. He goes, it works great in the comics, but when you have to animate that eye back and forth, like the eyes start getting funky, like they start looking cross-eyed and stuff like that. He goes, it's a bitch. And I always liked Sam because like Jeff and Chap were always kind of like, they were really nice guys, like from the heart, like, really good guys. And Sam was kind of like a drinker and a smoker. And, he listened to like hard rock and stuff like that. And, you would hear stuff like the soundtrack to Lion King coming from their office when it was Chap and Jeff working. And then we would have like metal played in the other room,
Nice.
And then Sam would come in and then the music would change and stuff. Yeah, it was really good.
Art's over here, seek and destroy, and they're finally found the love of a lifetime.
Yeah, and then it's like Hakuna Matata.
A little bit of a shift.
So let me ask you a question.
But we were like the bad boys, even over at Extreme. But when we had that studio together, we did stuff that those guys did not approve of.
I can't. Was it Jeff Matsuda or was it Chap Yap? I remember one of them like broke into comics because they like drew on a letter to Wizard magazine that got published.
I think it was Chap.
And then like they got picked up at Extreme or something right after that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this question, man. What's the book from Image in the day that is like that's still your go-to, man? It's like that one book that you were like, this is the shit. Like for me, it's it's not the best book, but I just love Silvestri so much, man. Cyberforce was my book, man.
I was going to say it's when I don't know it was Extinction or something. It was when Wildcats and Cyber
that's
Force
what I was going to say too.
over, and I'll tell you, it's like they both kind of pushed each other to that next level because Jim's work looked better and Silvestri's work looked better, and man, they were doing some crazy shit on that.
When Ripclaw and Warblade were fighting over Jean Grey.
Yeah, I actually have like you remember like the big giant posters. I have that cover in a big giant poster.
Yeah.
Like that is hands down my favorite cover of all Jim's Wildcat stuff.
The other one I would say is Wildcats 4 because it was cool to see Jim draw Youngblood, and I like any kind of crossover like that. Mm-hmm. So the Cyberforce Wildcats crossover and then the Youngblood Wildcats crossover, I was down for all of that stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, some good stuff, man. Well, anyway, let's go take this to the chat. Do you want us to keep talking about Image for another half hour or so, or do you want to get on to some of the other topics?
Shall we delve into the horrible now?
We could get into the Boba Fett Disney Plus fiasco with Mando showing up. I haven't seen the episode. I saw the first 3.
The last 2 episodes have been about Mando.
Yeah.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett ended 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, literally, the not the last episode, the one before. Fett wasn't in it at all.
Oh yeah,
at the
Mando
very end.
3.
The very end, Fennec Shan shows up, and then in this latest episode,
spoilers.
Yeah, whatever. And then in this last episode, Fett's in it for literally like 2 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, to me, they're doing this destroy the old, kill it if you have to kind of thing. Like,
they're crapping all over Boba Fett to make Mando look good, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I will say the last episode. I like the Mandalorian.
I do. I like all of it. Good. All of this is way better than the Last Jedi by a billion miles.
Oh God, yeah.
But we can nitpick it a little bit, but it's all good.
They're bringing a lot of stuff in from the Clone Wars into this show. You've got Ahsoka Tano, who's in there. You have spoiler alert for anybody who's hasn't seen the latest episode. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that right. Spoiler. If you don't want to hear anything about it, turn it off. I'll give you the thumbs up when I'm done talk about it. So 3, 2, 1. The last episode brought in Cad Bane.
Yep.
So which was really cool. But here's the thing, awesome, dude. It's not cool for Boba Fett. It's cool for Mando.
Yeah.
Because everything is about Mando.
I mean, it depends. I mean, the whole thing with Cad Bane is that in Legends, they have fought each other, and Boba has won.
Yes.
So the thing is, like, if Cad Bane's here to get his ass kicked by Boba, that would be cool.
But Boba's the one who's getting his ass kicked by everybody.
Exactly. The way things are going, Cad Bane's gonna destroy Boba. So I don't know, man. It's just, to me, Star Wars is like an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, what I find the most interesting thing about this is comics have done this same thing. Like you could have like the Justice League, right? So you have all these really powerful characters, and then you have Superman, and so to make Vixen look cool, Superman has to be diminished somehow in his importance and in his power, so then Vixen can shine. Well, I call foul. I think that's just bad writing, and that's writers that don't know how to up the scale, right? So all you have to do is make a story worthy of the Justice League, where each one of them get to shine, and each one of them, there's a reason for it. Justice League stories have to be massive, right? So, okay, so you have the Mandalorian, and then you have Boba Fett, right? So Boba Fett has been around, since the beginning of Star Wars. Everybody loves the character, right? And so then let me just ask you, because I don't really know the current Star Wars that much. is the Mandalorian that character that's in that Disney Plus show? Is he a brand new character?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Okay, then it's going to make my point. Okay, so then you have Boba Fett, who is part of the old George Lucas regime, right?
Yeah.
So, like somebody here said, kill it. I think it was Pedro. Like, kill it if you have to. All that stuff. So, but what I think is insane, and I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but why the hell do you buy a franchise, Disney, just to kill off these characters? Why do you pitch a Boba Fett series just to make him look bad in his own series? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, but they're doing it nonetheless.
Yeah. Okay. I think it has to do with the deal they signed with Lucas. Because they paid $4 billion for Star Wars, but he's still getting royalties from the characters.
Yeah.
So they want to come up with new characters that they don't have to depend on the old guard. And that maybe that's the motivation of getting rid of everybody. But to me, if you get rid of Luke Skywalker, you don't have Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like, and this is something that's happening in comics with all these new characters that take over for like all these legacy characters or any new character that's connected to another character. They have this mentality where they have to diminish the original to lend legitimacy to the new, which is freaking stupid. You don't have to do that.
The thing is that it doesn't make any sense because there's a built-in audience. Like these characters, Superman, Boba Fett, these have stood the test of time. These are proven hits. So you don't. Who the hell looks the other way? Who the hell diminishes the importance of Mickey Mouse? These are iconic characters. Like, who does these things? Like it's just crazy to me. And the thing is, so to prove your point, like, okay, we're going to, so we can get the royalties and take them from Lucas, and we can create new characters and all of this other stuff. But yet they're investing millions of dollars to put into these shows, and also Disney Plus is still on the fence as far as a success. So they're putting out broken entertainment to prove some kind of stupid ass point that we don't want to be beholden to George Lucas's creation anymore. Yeah. Man, if that is the case, these people are petty and short-sighted to a degree that I will never be able to relate to.
None of it makes sense. None of it makes any sense because you paid $4 billion for these characters and you sit on them for a little bit, and then the very first thing you do is you crap all over them so you can move on to your next generation of characters that nobody really likes at first. I'm talking about the movies. Mando was pretty popular once.
Yeah, dude.
Once everybody realized it wasn't tied in with the movies.
Yeah, dude. To quote George Carlin, they're dumber than a second coat of paint.
Yep.
Because, dude, like, it's people love Star Wars not because the flying logo or the X-wings or the pageantry, like the special effects of what Star Wars brought in '77. Yeah, that was cool. The staying power of Star Wars is the story of Luke, Leia, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Han Solo, Jabba the Hutt. All these characters are iconic. They're part of the lexicon now.
Right.
Like when you see a fat chick, you say, "Hey, look at Jabba!" Like people will know what you're talking about. It's something that it's iconic, and they're just pissing all over. Like, to me, Star Wars right now is like an ex-girlfriend that I see on Facebook, like I post, like, "Oh, okay, that's what you're doing now." Like, it's just, it's bad, man. It's bad.
You know what I was thinking about, like, Star Wars, and it always kind of connected. Well, it was an idea that never went away, and I never really got a satisfactory, like, answer, or like, I don't exactly know how to pose this, but the IP is called Star Wars. It's not called The Adventures of Luke Skywalker. It's not called any of those things. So it's like if you called a movie or a franchise WWII or WW2. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's like. So the brand is a war. The brand is a battle, right? An epic battle, Star Wars. So the IP, to me, if I was going to redo the franchise, like if I was Disney and I got this stuff, you know, and it was my baby to kind of rebrand. The first thing I would do is I would create a villain or a war worthy of the title Star Wars.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then I would work from there, because you have to have the villain. You have to have something to fight against. And all they did with the new franchise and everything is tie it directly to the existing. And you saw how that went. That story is told. The Skywalker story is told. And so in the new ones, you know, the J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson ones, they just retold the same things, and then they fucking shit on the entire point of the Skywalker saga. It all became moot. It's like Anakin's sacrifice, what Luke did, none of that mattered anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All because Palpatine was still alive.
Yeah, and they had
stupid.
such a great blueprint in Legends,
Mhm.
because you had
Yeah.
like Admiral Thrawn, you had the Yusak Wong invasion, like all these things that tell stories where Luke Skywalker looks amazing. There's this race that they are not affected by the Force, and then like they threaten the new Jedi Order. Like I was expecting that when it's like we're making new Star Wars. Like, oh my God, we're going with Legends. It's like no, it's new canon. It's with Disney.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus
But
Christ.
again, that's just a lot of it. I think comes down to if you like it's been a trope in Hollywood is the level of arrogance. They all want to put their stamp on something. They want to say
The arrogance
this
of
is because of
non-creative
me.
people at the
Yes.
top.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Exactly.
Kathleen Kennedys of the world, the Ryan Johnsons of the world.
Like one of my favorite stories was oh God, what was his name?
I mean, for whichever way you want to look at it, Kevin Feige has the Marvel universe. Like lately, it's looked like there's some clunkers in there, but for the majority of it, he is a creative who's been in control and kept the heart of what the comics were about, like the Iron Man, Captain America, Thor trilogies,
and phase 2 are perfect.
Yeah.
But
that shows you what can happen when you have somebody in charge who actually
cares,
respects, and appreciates the source material.
That's what I would do.
It's the rarest thing.
Yeah, I would rebrand Star Wars. Like I said, I would create the villain first. I would create something worthy of the title Star Wars. Because like I said, you know, I started having that realization that Star Wars is a battle. Star Wars is an epic.
It's good versus evil
battle. That's all these planets are affected, all this stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, Lucas never really in a satisfactory way explained that. Like there was a lot of backpedaling, and then when he redid the original three, the original trilogy, he kind of added some stuff in there that gave more backdrop to the political ideas and things that were going on. But there's one thing that they really never did in those is they really never showed the average man or the average person what they went through, like how they were affected by the Empire, stuff like that.
The grunts in the war.
Yeah, right. Actually, they did that in the series Clone Wars.
Yeah, in the Clone Wars they did that.
But
to make
it's very good.
Right, to make a point about the like I said, this arrogance has existed in Hollywood forever. Harlan Ellison was a friend of Gene Roddenberry's, and he hated Hollywood. He absolutely abhorred them. But Gene actually talked him into writing a script for the first Star Trek motion picture movie. And they went to the pitch meeting, and this is the kind of thing that happens. This guy who has no creativity, he's just he's an office worker, he's a producer. Okay. In the middle of the pitch, there was a thing where Harlan Ellison wrote that the Enterprise goes back in time and they meet God, like they literally meet God, and God takes them to the beginning of time. And we'll talk about the beginning of time. This friggin' producer goes, "Oh hey, I've been reading a book about the Mayans and Incans. Can we put something about the Mayans and Incans there?" And Gene Roddenberry just is like, he looks at Harlan, he knows he's about to explode, and Harlan Ellison says, "There is no Incans and Mayans. It's the beginning of time." And this producer, with this just arrogance, somebody just goes, "Yeah, people won't care." It's like, people won't care. It doesn't matter. and he just lost his shit. This is the kind of thing, like Kathleen Kennedy has inserted herself so much into this because she wants to be Gene Roddenberry. She's from all the accounts I understand, she's a good executive. She's a terrible creative.
Oh, 100%.
But she wants to inject herself into it because she wants to put her stamp on it. It's the same thing that Rian Johnson did with the film. He threw everything out and he said, and I'm going to burn it all down because I want to put my stamp on it. And what these people don't, the arrogance, they don't realize that these franchises have existed for all this time because there's a certain formula and a certain style to them. And in these franchises like Star Trek and Star Wars and James Bond, these things exist. Like, it's not about you and your ego. It's about you maintaining and respecting what these things are. Instead of you putting your stamp on it, doesn't matter.
Well, you can put your stamp on it, but still be true to the core of what the IP means. You don't have to completely rebrand something. Like I think the genius of Jeff Johns when he was working at DC Comics is that he understood the IPs, he understood the core of the characters. So he did change things. He did bring new things to the the stories and the IP.
He added to it. He didn't subtract from it.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were all within the confines of what the character was. Like, it felt fresh, it felt different, and you're reading it and you're like, why? Because it still feels like this is a Hal Jordan story. This feels like a traditional Hal Jordan story, but it feels different. Why? Because there's just a few little tweaks. There's a few little like pieces that he saw that maybe could be changed, or new ideas that can be injected, but at the same time, always keeping sight Hal Jordan Green Lantern. This is what he is at the core of his being. And so then everything, when you read it, everything works. It seems flawless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are the stories that you really want. I've been watching these documentaries on Star Wars and the new trilogies and stuff like that. And The Force Awakens, the first J.J. Abrams movie. And the thing is, like, in context, when you look back, because we see how the three play out. But I remember watching that movie and really liking the three new principals. I thought BB was a great new robot. I thought he was great. I thought that first Force Awakens felt like Star Wars.
J.J. Abrams had respect for the original.
Yeah.
They got the feel right. They got like, it felt like a Star Wars movie. To me, it felt more like a Star Wars movie than the prequels did. Like, though it was George Lucas, this felt more like a Star Wars. Where they went wrong is they
Last Jedi.
Didn't have a villain, so they just bring the Death Star back into it, and it just becomes cliche. So the plot wasn't that great. Even the death of Han Solo, which I wasn't crazy about, and Rey knowing everything, like all the things that we eventually got to see that were major flaws.
Yeah.
They still could have been taken care of in episode 2.
Yeah.
Like, everything that was wrong with that movie, or everything that we had a problem with, could have been ironed out in 2.
It could have worked still.
Really good writing.
Yeah.
But
Last Jedi just derailed everything, though. That was just
there was no coming back. There was no coming
that
back.
was two people that hated everything about Star Wars and wanted to put their own stamp on it.
Did you see like the storyboard treatment of the director that got fired to do the last Star Wars?
No, I remember there was multiple directors that got fired.
Yeah, but the first guy, he wanted to do like the French Revolution style battle in Coruscant. Dude, I just saw like concept art. It looked amazing, dude.
Oh,
it was like commandeered Empire, like hardware painted like with graffiti and the barricades and people fighting against like a huge like. That looked amazing, but Kathleen Kennedy fired him.
Well, there you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You need a war. You know what I mean? When I was watching all these documentaries, I didn't know this, but George Lucas was up, I think, to direct Apocalypse Now. And so he was, when Star Wars was created, he was well entrenched in war movies, all that stuff. And so then he was also at the time trying to get the rights to Flash Gordon. So
Flash.
what he ended up doing is taking, all those those
All
war
those
ideas and
inspirations.
combine them with Flash Gordon, and that's what became Star Wars. But it started off with an epic war that it was modeled after. It was modeled after the Second World War, a world war. This was an intergalactic war. You know what I mean? And so it reached everybody was touched by it. And so, like you're saying, Pedro, like that's how you would do it, man. You would reintroduce a new war. You know what I mean? And like somebody said, like in a different timeline, maybe in the future, whatever, but create something brand new. It can be based on some of that stuff. One of my favorite things that J.J. Abrams did is that, when they went to, was it Tatooine or wherever it was, and there were all the ships, the
Jakku
Imperial ships and stuff, and and then the Millennium Falcons flying through it and all. Oh my gosh, that was fucking phenomenal. Like
I know the results from that war
now, but I'll tell you, when I saw that, I was like, "Fuck, this is cool."
J.J. Abrams had the right idea, and why he didn't direct the entire trilogy, I don't know. But that probably would have salvaged a lot of
the guy that was
and garbage that was last Jedi.
But JJ is known for not knowing how to finish stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
He's known for, he's really well known for not knowing how to finish stuff.
He's great at coming in. I mean, just look at the first two Star Trek movies. Star Trek 1, awesome. Star Trek Into Darkness, not so much.
Yeah.
Well, there's been enough wars. There's been enough wars that exist. Go back to history. Start studying, like you said, the French. What was it, Pedro? The French whatever war, French Revolution. Yeah. Like go back to some of these things and maybe tailor it, like loosely base it on some of these situations that have already happened prior, and then that would be your backdrop. That would be your starting point. And then create like iconic villains. Like obviously the Empire were the Nazis. Like these parallels were so freaking apparent in the first Star Wars. When George Lucas came up with those things. So find these iconic imagery. Find these iconic battles. These things connect and resonate with people. But the shit that we got, like they just shoehorned some kind of. It wasn't even a war. It was like. It's just a bunch of punk ass assholes.
It was just a continuation, that
was trying to rear their ugly head, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Palpatine's alive, and he's amassed this giant fleet of ships. Like,
and I don't know, maybe because I'm gonna show how much of a dork I am. But the thing is, like, that battle at the end of the galaxy with Palpatine, that was straight up from the ending of Dune. Which was the battle was like Kralisek, the battle at the end of the universe. And dude, it was the same concept. Like they come this huge army of like mechanized robots coming after the last remnants of humanity. It was just like note by note, like let's do this. And it felt short. Like Lando all of a sudden, like I brought everybody. It's like how? You never saw
Colt 45, baby.
Yeah, you never go like he went with mouth like a.
But here's the thing. This is nothing new, man. You look at all these projects that they've stuck their nose into, with these people with this kind of an agenda and everything. It's always the path of least resistance. It's always what can we do that is the bare minimum to get anything and everything that we want. And it's just it's not putting creativity and first, and it's
not earned.
We've talked about Pontificators. We've talked. It's like these are creative decisions done by committee. Like
it's the cliche of Hollywood executives.
It's the executives insinuating into the creative process.
And this has been around since Hollywood started. Like when businessmen rise to the top and are making creative decisions, they're not looking at what's gonna tell the best story or what's gonna be an emotional point or. Like, how can we make the hero even more heroic? It's like, what's going to make us the most money, and how can we get through it faster?
Yeah,
like,
these
efficiency and money, and it's classic Hollywood business mind. We don't care about the story; we care about making money. Well, if you really care about making money, you'd think about the story. Like I mean, it's been proven time and again, but they don't think like that because their minds aren't wired like that.
Yeah. But to get back to the Mando stuff, man, it's just again, it just comes back down to this thing, and it's something that they constantly do, and it's
at least with Mando, they are building a story. It does seem like they're building something toward. Well, it seems like they're building some sort of war on Tatooine with the mobs in Boba Fett. But then it also seems like they're slow building some sort of thing with a return to Mandalore, which I'm assuming is season 3.
It just feels like it's sacrificing the original to lend legitimacy. Tearing down the original to lend legitimacy.
Yeah, I think they're not worried about Boba Fett as much as they're worried about Mando.
Yeah.
Mando is the future, and Boba Fett is just like something cool, a new toy we can break out with.
It's the same mindset and philosophy that we've seen already. You know, one of you guys said, like, you know, for the future, you know, we got to kill the old. Like for the new king to rise, we have to kill the old, you know. So but this is a mindset that's not factual. It's not based in any kind of logic or reality. It's just a decision that they made. And so that's the agenda that they're selling. Because just to go back, you bought Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, you know, R2-D2, C-3PO, this whole Boba Fett. You bought all these characters, right? And all you can think of is like killing them off to make some kind of declaration so that this new Disney Star Wars can flourish. But the thing is, you didn't have to do any of these things. Luke Skywalker could still exist. Princess Leia could still exist. Han Solo could still exist. All these characters can still exist at the same time Rey does. You know, you didn't have to kill these characters. You chose to kill these characters because you wanted to put up a big middle finger to Lucas or whoever you have a mat on for. And it's so obvious and apparent that that's what you were doing. But I'll tell you, if I just spent $40 million or whatever on that franchise, I would go and I would wring that fucker's neck, whether it was Kathleen Kennedy or it was J.J. Abrams or whoever was coming up with those ideas. And I'd go, no, we're not going to do this. We just paid all this money for these characters.
Yeah.
Why would we kill off Luke Skywalker? He's still valid. He's still relevant. People still want to see adventures. These are adventures that haven't been told. Look at what they did with Batman Beyond with Bruce Wayne. Holy shit. You know, that Bruce Wayne was just as cool in that Batman Beyond as he was as Batman in his prime. You know what I mean?
Art, I think he just came up with a great character. Accountant Enforcer. The guy just goes like, "What are you guys doing? We're losing money," and just like destroying all the creators, like flipping tables and kicking everybody's ass. Think right.
You would think so. You'd think Disney would have somebody like that to not destroy their money, but
hey, I'm big enough. I can do it.
You need somebody. If you needed somebody to put Kathleen Kennedy in line, I think you'd have a lot of volunteers right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like if you think about like Mando versus Boba Fett, like obviously it's Jon Favreau and what's the
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni. You know, and it's their baby, and that they're probably very, very territorial about it. I'm sure that Boba Fett has some outside influence because it is kind of based on, you know, the Star Wars license that they bought.
Yeah.
So I'm giving Favreau and what's the other guy?
Filoni.
I'm giving those two guys the benefit of the doubt with Boba Fett because I know they're still working on that one as well. But it doesn't feel like The Mandalorian. Like it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel true. Mando talks too much. My whole question with Boba Fett is not Mando talks too much, but Boba Fett talks too much. Is like, why the hell does he want to be a warlord? Why does he want to be this guy? Like none of it makes sense. You go from an assassin, a lone wolf, to this guy that wants to control Tatooine and organized crime. Like there's nothing.
It seemed like they had a story idea in mind, and then they shoehorned Boba Fett.
I mean,
into
they try to explain it, but it's not earned again.
Yeah.
Right? So basically, the change of heart of Boba was living with the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, like, he knew what family was now, and now he's a changed man.
Yeah, like softened him.
But
or
everything
something.
he's doing in Tatooine isn't for the better. They don't show him with the people. They don't show him like seeing the plight of what the people are going through and saying,
Exactly.
you need a better leader than this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take control of this town and I'm going to clean it up like Wyatt Earp. You know, like if you want to do that, people could understand that.
Yeah.
It's very direct and it's very kick-ass. This guy goes into the Wild West. He goes to the Tombstone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to clean up the town. And so you have your what's the big slug character? You know,
Jabba.
You got the Hutts. You know, that they're basically the mafiosos. Like they have their slugness firmly planted in every organized crime aspect of that area. And then they've established like there's this new breed that even the Hutts are afraid of. Right?
You're actually describing what's happening, Art.
I know.
You literally are.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
No,
but
it's poorly executed though.
Establish that what is Boba Fett's motivation. That's what they did not do. And if they did that, then I think it would work better. I don't know why the hell he's doing what he's doing. I don't know why this guy's got a second lease on life. Why he's doing what he's doing. I didn't think that the Tusken Raiders were showing that much compassion to him and niceness. Anyway, they left him out there to die. They beat the shit out. They tied him to a stake. Like who would think like, oh, this is compassion?
Yeah.
Until that's why those early episodes didn't ring true, because they were really trying to quickly shoehorn him into the storyline that they wanted to get him to be like a boss in not Mos Eisley, but Mos Vespa.
Here's the thing. If you know, like, to actually understand what's going on, you got to do a super deep dive into the lore. And it goes all the way back to Tar Vizsla, the creator of the Darksaber. And there's a whole storyline about how, and they allude to this with the whole thing with Boba Fett wanting to ride the Rancor. There's this whole thing where basically what's going to happen is Boba Fett's becoming this warlord because he's becoming a leader, and he's going to end up becoming the leader of all the Mandalorians. He's going to reunite all of them, and that's basically what's going to happen.
But
it's just they're doing a really shitty job of it.
Are you alluding the fact that Jango Fett is the actual heir of the Darksaber, and since he had the same DNA as Boba, the Darksaber is going to recognize him. Like, I read that somewhere, and it could make sense, but there are ways to make that clearly more badass than what they're doing right now.
They clearly they really effed up with that Tusken Raider, which by the way is the best parts of that show, but they're the parts that derail the idea the most, because also he wasn't their savior. He got them all killed. And killed by like Quintan Riders, and those guys are, dude, like I mean, you said something really important, like Art, like choosing the bad guy. Now you're choosing the Pikes. The Pikes, out of all the crime syndicate, are the most cowardly. I wish you would have used Black Sun, because Black Sun is guys who are like hands-on. Ever since like you played that game Shadow of the Empire, like, dude, those guys were no joke.
Yeah,
like out of all the gangsters, those are the guys. Like, if Black Sun comes in, like, everybody flees. So I don't know why they didn't choose Black Sun. Oh, okay, they're in disarray because the Darth Maul was the head of Black Sun, and he's already dead by this time because Kenobi killed him, like, even before, like when Luke was like 10. So what happened to Black Sun in this time, like, nobody knows. But the Pikes are just like crack sellers, and I'm not bashing crackback.
Of course you are.
Because I'm not, but they're not as scary as saying like Black Sun or any of the other like crime syndicates around.
I would have used.
Let's shift over. Let's shift over because we're 9 o'clock. And I want to do this. So Danky Frankie says Cheech and Chong meets Mad Max as two brothers attempt to save themselves and the world. Tropical Magic. So I am going to share this campaign with you guys. This is Pedro Ang, if my computer will work. Yeah. This is his new book. He's got a pre-launch sign-up page. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let me play the video here. We got a monkey.
Everything with monkeys is funnier.
That's cool. Yeah, so you guys, link is in the description. This is Tropical Magics, and this is Pedro's new offering. Pedro,
Yep.
When are you gonna drop this thing?
March the 1st, we start the campaign. I'm working on a series of trading cards. If you sign up for the mailing list and back the book, you get one trading card for free. I don't know if you're so kind, Art. I'm going to share my screen right now because some of the cards are ready. Let me see.
Are you ready to share? Tell me when.
Yeah, I'm sharing it. Yep, ready.
Ooh, cool.
Cool.
So yeah, this is the first one, Juanca. This is gonna be whoever signs up is gonna get it with their book, and with the stretch for setting, we're gonna get the set of the heroes.
Oh, cool.
So you're gonna get Juanca, you're gonna get Carla, and you're gonna get Miguel. And I'm working right now on Nanny, the big ass robot.
Nani?
Nanny. Yeah, it's called Nanny.
Those look awesome.
Because he babysits.
Otro.
Yeah,
He's the babysitter.
Yeah, he's the babysitter of Carla. So
Hey, also, isn't there going to be a cover that's
yes,
inked by somebody?
somebody that's really big, and I still can't believe it. Mr. Arthur Thibaert is gonna ink.
I saw this cover art. It looks great, man, and it's going to be my privilege, my pleasure to ink over your pencil. So, Tropical Magic is the book. Go sign up now. It's going to be released in March. So, so get on that, register so you can get those free trading cards. So, Clint, what do you have for us?
Here, let me.
Do you want to do the pre-launch or do you want to do Pirate Queen? Because I got Pirate Queen. I got a tab here.
Oh, I'll do the pre-launch because
okay.
We're here, let me. Oops. Yep, here we go for Slave Girl.
By the way, the Tropical Magics link is in the description, as Black and White is, and Pirate Queen 2. I think this is in the description too, Slave Girl. I'm not sure though.
If not, you can just go to my. You can follow me on Twitter, and I've got lots of links to it on my timeline. So, Slave Girl will be coming out this spring, probably right around April. It's sci-fi, fantasy, swords and sorcery kind of adventure. You follow the young lady, the slave girl, into all kinds of trouble that she's getting herself into. Kind of a lot of stuff that you love about Star Wars or Conan or, the slave girl, Princess Leia kind of stuff like that. So I just throw a whole bunch of stuff in a blender that I liked and came up with this, but I can play the video here for you.
Yes, please. And also this is in the same universe, right, as Pirate Queen?
Exactly.
Help me! Oh,
bye.
Not again.
Tease that.
Poor girl.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
What's this Japanese?
Adult content. And explosions.
Hey, Clint, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but are you planning to having a trailer for the campaign itself?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a separate campaign for the or a separate trailer for when I launch a campaign.
We need to have a character there.
Would you be interested in some animation for said trailer?
Oh, well, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah, definitely. Animation would be cool.
Yeah,
this is the preliminary thing. So definitely. Let's talk some more.
Also, Clint has Pirate Queen 2 in demand right now, and that link is in the description. And I got to do this because we just hit a major
Yes, awesome.
on Black and White. So
yeah.
So Black and White Man versus Machine is now 96,000.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks. Yeah, thanks you guys. Thank you so much for getting us to this point. We're under 4,000 now. It'll be absolutely amazing. I am planning on a 100K stretch goal. Bob is saying a gatefold cover.
Or a front and back, you know.
Oh yeah.
The wraparound.
A wraparound cover, yeah.
We could.
Congratulations on 6K. 96K.
Yeah, thank you so much. We got 1,174 backers. You guys are the best. So thank you so very much. Black and White Volume 2 Man versus Machine. We're going to have more original artwork. We just put some up and sold it the other day, or got a backer for that, I should say. And so we're going to have the action figures, or the figures, the Keshi figures that we're going to be bringing into this campaign soon. But don't forget, we still have T-shirts. We still have some original artwork with the layouts, and we have the Inco T-shirts. So there's still a lot of cool stuff for you guys to come and back and check out. I do appreciate it, and man, thanks again. I do appreciate it. So, do you guys want to get into one last thing, or do you want to end this, or what do you?
I think we could save that for next week. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was very fruitful, even though I destroyed my guitar. I'm very happy.
I've got an image we could go out on here. Hold on.
All right. I saw that if it's the same one.
Yeah, I figured this is a good image.
This is definitely a high note.
Choose which side you want to be on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
It's weird because the world is kind of getting better at the same time that it's still burning. You know what I mean?
I don't know, dude. Of all places, Canada is giving me hope.
I know which side I choose.
So this is Gina Carano laughing her ass off, at Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Clown shoes, man.
That's no decision at all, right there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
on that note,
haven't been keeping up. Whoopi Goldberg said some
really dumb shit.
Some really dumb shit. That was
didn't have anything to do with
actually dumb shit versus what Gina Carano put up on her Twitter, which was actually just a reference to something that actually did happen. And so
and Whoopi was not letting that go. She was wholeheartedly
dude, she was digging in like a tick.
Apparently she went on Stephen Colbert that same night and doubled down on what she said, and I was like,
good
luck with that one.
Yeah, I was glad that ABC did come up after that and say at least they gave her a suspension of 2 weeks, which isn't really
poor baby,
slap on the wrist for a liberal.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Ignorance of history is no excuse.
Nobody cares what Whoopi Goldberg says.
No.
Okay.
There's a bunch of bored housewives that watch The View every day that do.
Yeah, but nobody cares about them either.
Exactly.
But the thing is, this is the problem that I have is that it's like the George Carlin joke. Is like you know, we don't need two standards. One standard will be fine. You know what I mean? But there's like there are so obvious double standards that you can see. It's so transparent these days, where there is like if you're on the right or if you're on the left, one gets treated one way and one gets treated a different way. And so yeah, you got Gina Carano who gets fired, right? Yeah. And then you have Whoopi Goldberg that says something that was ignorant and was hurtful. Unlike Gina Carano, she just stated a fact. And one gets fired and one gets their hand slapped. And nothing would have happened to Whoopi Goldberg, I'm totally convinced, unless she did go on Colbert and started, you know, still shooting her mouth off. Because at that point, ABC has to go, we need to stop this loose cannon because she's still spewing shit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They're going to back each other. They're going to protect them. But the reality is they realize they're losing.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you know, just stay the course.
What do you mean? CNN's still doing great.
Oh yeah,
no,
CNN.
All the rats are crawling off the ship.
CNN, who lost 90, who have lost up to 90% of their friggin' viewership.
Yeah.
Doesn't Joe Rogan get higher ratings than?
I think CNN would hire Joe Rogan.
Tim Pool gets higher.
Right
He's
now.
Joe Rogan is the biggest podcast in the world.
Joe Rogan's ratings are bigger than CNN's entire.
And here's the reason why they're so scared of him. He's got FU money, man.
Yeah.
Even if Spotify can't afford to get rid of him.
No,
but even
I'll
if they did,
I'll tell you why they're afraid of him. I'm sorry. Why they're afraid of him is because he's transparent and he speaks the truth. Yeah. He's willing to listen to the other side and have discourse. Yeah. Where the only reason the one side is winning is because they just shut it down.
Yeah, they won't let it down. There is
just like
no
what
room
they're doing with
discussion.
Joe Rogan. Like the hypocrisy is so fucking self-evident.
Yeah.
You have Neil Young saying, I'm a big proponent of free speech. However, we need to get Joe Rogan thrown off for his free speech. Like these people are the biggest hypocrites. It's like if you don't like what Joe Rogan is saying, then don't watch his show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but there's the thing. Like they think that getting Joe Rogan out of Spotify is gonna silence him. It's gonna become even stronger because right now Spotify is keeping him like maybe a little bit more like agreeable.
That guy could go anywhere, and
exactly
they will.
Spotify is not the platform. The platform is Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
and if he gets out of Spotify with $100 million in his pockets, he can basically make his own service and buy his own servers. And
he's got FU money.
Spotify, unlike Disney, paid for that guy, paid for the Joe Rogan experience, and they're going to try to make money off of it because they spent a lot of money.
They're making money off of it.
Yeah,
you don't have 11 million viewers.
Right, but what I'm saying is, unlike what Disney did with the core Star Wars character where they killed them off, Spotify actually does want to make money. They do want to get a return for their investment. Having said that, they are going to back Joe Rogan, And the thing is, like the one thing that Joe Rogan did that I'm just gonna say it, is that Joe Rogan should not have said "I'm sorry" in anything. He should never use those words at all because they use that as victory. Yeah. I listened to everything that Joe Rogan said, and there was nothing that he said that was wrong. He just should not have said, "I'm sorry if I pissed anyone off." It's kind of a non-apology, but they still look at that as a victory.
Yeah, they'll take any scrap.
And the thing is, like the way Spotify slapped his hand and saying, we'll put disclaimers up. Well, what show didn't have a disclaimer in the past? If there was anything that was questionable or racy, there would always be disclaimers. So disclaimers are just legalese to let everybody, all the babies out there know that there's going to be stuff that might be insensitive. It might piss you off. It might be this, that, or the other thing. But at the end of the day, it's just opinion. It's this person that's on the show's opinion. It's not Spotify's opinion. It might not even be Joe Rogan's opinion. It's just that person's opinion. So why do you hold Spotify? accountable.
No,
Why would you hold Joe Rogan accountable? It's an individual that said these things.
they're
You know-
terrified of him because it's all the media types who know that they're losing their power,
Yeah.
and they see this guy and they're hoping desperately they can take him down, but it's
You
just
can
not
only
going to work.
lie to people for so long until like nobody listens to you anymore.
Yeah,
And I mean, that's what's happening.
There's also an element that it's not fair because I mean, and CNN they're hand tied to get the company in line, and Joe Rogan gets to say whatever the hell he wants to say.
Yeah,
and that can be unnerving, I guess. Like, and I'm trying to like be devil's advocate. Like, I don't even watch CNN. I don't even live in America. What the hell am I saying? Actually,
but the thing is, I think they're afraid of the truth. I think they're afraid of the truth. I think Chuck Dixon just posted that. You know who owns Neil Young's music library? It's Black. It's not me. It's Black. Is it Blackstone or Black?
Pfizer? It's Pfizer.
And then Pfizer owns that company. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Pfizer owns Neil Young's musical, his catalog. So of course, Neil Young's gonna go, there's misinformation about COVID, XYZ. You know what I mean? Because he's beholden to that corporate overlord. You know what I mean? So if you follow the money, then you realize that most likely Neil Young isn't even altruistic in his actions. He's beholden to his corporate overlords, which is Pfizer. You know what I mean? So
and isn't he like 89 or something?
What? He'll be dead soon. But the thing is, like he's not relevant. But if they can nick away at credibility, if Pfizer or whoever's the ruling class that can control the media can nick away it enough, then they can control the narrative. And that's all they want. They just want to discredit this person enough that people just stop listening to him. And that's the crime. We can all
try to get people to stop listening to Joe Rogan. They're going about it the wrong.
They're going about the wrong way.
They're giving him free advertising.
He said in the last couple of days he's gotten like another 50,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah. There's probably guys that would be interested in Joe Rogan who had no idea who he was until all this is all over the news.
Well, it's just like I love this. This will be back on what we were originally going to do. We were going to do like Name That Tune with Pedro, and we were going to do Black Sabbath. And so this was the Black Sabbath story, okay? I think it was Ozzy or it was Dio that said this. He goes, you know what? Every time the religious right, which by the way, the left and right have switched positions.
That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. But anyway, so he would say, the religious right would go in and they would shake their finger and go, don't go see this band because they're evil and they're satanic and they're all these things, right? And then whoever it was it Ozzy or Dio said, you know what? That show that wasn't sold out, the next day, sold out venue, added on, another night, because these guys would basically be the advertisement for the band. Like it worked the exact opposite of what these guys were thinking it was going to do. And the same
Mark Brooks,
Rogan.
Yeah,
Mark
I'm gonna
Brooks,
say something.
Mark Wade.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna say
guys,
something right now. Nobody other than the handful of people that are like trying to turn this into something. Nobody gives a shit about Neil Young's Werther eating wrinkled up old dependent shitting ass.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That was the biggest joke. Is Neil Young is still alive?
Yeah, dude. That guy lays on prune juice. He I saw the picture and he looked like one of those like grandpas that knows where the treasure's buried.
Hang on a second.
Well, I hope Neil Young will remember a southern man him around
anyhow.
But
all right,
neither do the rest of us.
Yeah, on that note, Whoopi Goldberg, may you burn. Joe Rogan, flourish. Pfizer, you're a corrupt company. We're already going to get demonetized because that great video that we
are.
The last Pontificators tonight, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Who gives a
in here?
It was nice while it lasted.
we go flushing down the drain.
Seek and destroy.
But anyways,
Let's see. They played Nelson. They talked about Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
They're done.
Kill him.
yeah, they said Pfizer was corrupt. Yeah, well, screw the establishment. We're gonna hang on to our truth until we can't speak it anymore. So, anyways, thanks to everybody that hung out with us for the last 2.5 hours. I know this is past Bob. Bob usually gives me the kill the stream.
Your show, brother.
But I think Bob was having a good time, so we went a little long. And next week, hopefully, we'll have Pedro and we'll do that. Name that tune. Next week on the Pontificators. So that was.
Dude, I'm traveling to Panama on the 8th, so I don't know which guitar you like best, a Flying V or an Explorer.
Flying V, come on.
I'm like a Schenker guy, so I like a Michael Schenker.
Okay, I'll bring the V. Okay.
All right. Well, anyway, what we were going to do tonight is we're going to do Name That Tune with Pedro. So Pedro was going to jam on his guitar. He was going to give us a band, like Black Sabbath, and then he was just going to play a couple notes of the song, and then we were going to try to guess which it was. And so Clint really wants Pedro to play like 80s hair metal. So that's where that's the rabbit hole we went down and played Nelson early on.
Yeah.
So if you guys are just tuning in, go back, watch the beginning because
I just wanted to see
he gets to watch his Nelson.
Yeah, dude. Clint's gonna make me look.
Bob.
Yeah, Clint is gonna make me look ridiculous playing those songs, but I'll do it.
I'll do it. Yeah, they'll all wear wigs. We'll all wear
Gonna
like.
remind me of
Oh, there we
the
go.
gonna remind me of the kids that I gave swirlies to.
Yeah, we'll need a puke bucket, but I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll try to make that happen. But just so everybody knows, yeah, Pedro got really excited. He ran towards the computer, and he tripped and he fell, and he went guitar first and broke his guitar. Hey, Pedro, how many times have you taken that guitar on stage, did crazy ass shit, and never broke it? And then
this guitar has been with me since 2004.
Wow.
And you've never dropped it until now.
No, it got chewed on by a dog once, but
Yeah.
But that just helped the sound.
Yeah, but no, I was naked at the time, and that's an interesting story. But the guitar remained playable. Yeah. Now it's just I can't tune it. It's just.
I think Bob's gonna vomit with that naked thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Next week, guys, we'll have it all set, ready to go, and we'll be having fun.
Yeah, and we'll get into some of the topics that we weren't able. Well, actually, I think we covered everything anyway.
Yeah.
So,
we did.
anyways, thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are the best. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the backing. We're about Black and White is over 96K. Thank you. We are closing in on 100K. Go back, Pirate Queen 2. It's in demand right now. Go sign up for Pedro's book, Tropical Magics, and got a Slave Girl sign up page too. So go check that out, and we will see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Back Black and White.